talk a lot about vision, about the long game, and about where we're going. But here's something I've been sitting with lately. If you're not handling what's right in front of you, the future you're dreaming about isn't going to show up. Life doesn't usually speak in big moments. It whispers through small responsibilities, small habits, and small conversations that we keep avoiding. A lot of people aren't failing because they don't want enough. They're failing because they keep skipping the small things placed directly in front of them and then wondering why the big things never materialize. Welcome back to the Clean Life Cast, where healing becomes a movement. Today, we're talking about listening to your life, not in like a mystical way or not in like a motivational quote way, but in a very real, grounded way. We're going to unpack the difference between having vision and actually building a future, and how missing the small daily assignments in front of you quietly delays everything that you say you want. If you ever felt like you were meant for more, but things aren't just lining up yet, this episode's for you. So, I'm glad we're back, brother.
Yeah, little break, right?
Yeah, a little
Happy
break.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
How was your New Year?
it was cool.
Yeah,
I
Christmas
spent
good.
Christmas was good. New Year's was good. I worked all Christmas, but New Year's was cool. Right, start new.
Starting new,
Yeah.
fresh. I didn't. Did you set a resolution?
I have goals,
Okay.
right? I have goals, but like the overall picture is more a direction than a resolution. And
So,
like it's like probably said it before, but it's like you're driving on a freeway, and when you're getting off the exit, you see all these other signs for like McDonald's, Arby's, Carl's Jr. Like you can pick those things up on the way. That's like my direction. Like there's a bunch of things I'm gonna pick up along the way. But I have a direction. Um,
I like that. I think, that's the same thing with me. Like, I stopped doing resolutions like last year
yeah,
and started picking like a word or like a direction, like a compass, like almost
yeah,
like like last year's was discipline, and so I really just I would always bring myself back to discipline,
yeah,
discipline. This year it's like ownership and embodiment. Like I want to own the life that's mine.
yeah,
And so like I'm doing things in aligned with that, and it's kind of leading me in that direction. But I stopped doing New Year's resolutions because it's like you always hear like those statistics where people start and they fail.
yeah.
But I think that it's important to have a goal and a direction in mind. But I also think that it's important for it to be more of a something you can keep a framework on. Those like, okay, I'm just off course. Let's get back to it
Yeah.
instead of like I failed and now I'm gonna quit.
Yeah, I heard a dope quote about it. I don't have it memorized, but it was like something like, "Oh, my phone's dead." I don't want to say it because I might mess it up, but it's something like, "The joys in life is not found through the plans. It's found through the detours."
Oh, I love that.
Right? It like our plans. If our plans went exactly as planned, we wouldn't gain nothing except the end goal. But it's the detours that help define us. It's in the detours that help us grow, right?
Right.
And that's the part that makes us strong. Like if you can, especially if you can learn from it to make sure these detours don't happen again. But that's the part where we have growth, where we learn more about ourselves and learn about different ways how not to do certain things, right?
Right.
That's where the true growth comes from, not in the life going exactly as how it went, as how you planned it. Because the only thing you gain from a plan executing exactly how you wrote it down is the end goal.
Right.
Boring.
Boring.
Yeah, it is boring. Like I feel like the uncomfortability that everybody talks about is in the mistakes, is in the detours, is in life not going according to plan, right?
Right.
Like if life went according to plan, I promise you I wouldn't be this happy. I wouldn't have this joy in my life. I wouldn't know who I really am right now.
Right. And like what talking about going to according to plan, it's like if it would have went according to plan, I would have never been able to dream big enough.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like the reason why my life is so good is because it's wildly better than I could have expected,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Experiencing what nothing feels like, the nothingness, the hopelessness, right? And now because we went and experienced those things, so full of hope, so full of vision,
Right.
like according to the topic, so full of vision, and the vision is all reachable, whereas before, because of hopelessness, nothing seemed reachable. I was settling for the life that I felt like I deserved or was worthy of,
Right.
which was nothing really.
Right. And you were content with it.
Yeah, I was content. I was happy with it. And I was even trying to cut it short because it was so miserable,
Yeah.
you know?
It's wild.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is it's like been heavy on me lately in like two parts. So like number one, like for myself and for a lot of other people. I see like they want so many big things in life. They want to accomplish certain achievements, or they want to do certain things, but then there's a million little things right in front of them that they could handle today,
Yeah.
but they're just talking about that future. And I do it. I'm guilty of this all the time too.
Yeah.
And that's something that like the one of the first questions I want to ask you about. But it's like I see myself going through life expanding and doing more and more and more, and then I realize that I'm doing all this extra stuff just because I'm avoiding the things that are in front of me that are hard, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want to take the time to do the things that are uncomfortable to me. So I just keep moving, you know?
Yeah.
And I keep thinking like, oh, I want this vision, but it takes all these little tiny steps to get me there. So the first question is like, what happens when vision turns into like fantasy instead of becoming like direction?
Then you lose it. Right? You lose. There's no way to stay focused when it becomes fantasy, right? Like there's discipline in order to achieve the vision that you're really going for, and it's not the big picture, right? It's like if you look at a brick house, in order to form the brick house, you have to lay every brick,
Every brick.
and that's the discipline in achieving the vision. And if you just go over there and just try and put 10 bricks down, the house being as solid as you want it, it's not really going to happen.
Right, and it's more than just even laying the brick. It's like the mortar, the
Yeah, like
walking
all of
back
it.
and forth, the cutting the
Yeah,
bricks, the all those little things that you don't wanna do.
yeah,
They're the tasks that, like, it's not fun, and it's not, like, sexy. It's not like people are gonna
yeah,
be, like, praising you for it, but those are the things that it takes.
yeah. But that's the reason why. That's the reason that's going to be the difference in the long game, or um, not making it. You know.
Right? People that fall short.
Yeah, because like I feel like if you skip out on these steps, you miss out on the basics that make you a solid person in order to withstand trials that show up later, right? Skipping certain steps. It's like watching a team. My son said he was when he was coaching this past football season, they played against a team that was undefeated and killing everybody, and they played another team. My son them stayed and watched, and he said that the team that was undefeated ended up trailing into halftime, and they fell apart and lost because they never experienced loss. They never knew how to go through that loss,
Like,
right?
how to come back.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
know how to come back, and it's not their fault they were undefeated, but I feel like because they were winning, they never got instilled in their by their coaches. Not saying it's strictly the coach's fault, but they never got instilled by their coaches what it is to have resilience,
Yeah,
you know.
grit,
Yeah.
perseverance, fight through the
And that's the part. Like if you just skip all these basic steps, all these things that help make you a stronger person for the long run, it's hard to believe that you're gonna last,
Well, I
you
mean,
know?
it's like literally, in my own opinion, but literally impossible to
Yeah.
last. You know what I mean? It's like in order for it to work, you have to do those little things. And so like that's why people get stuck in that loop of like wanting and not doing and wanting and not doing and wanting and not doing, is because they're missing like the integrity part. They're
Yeah.
missing the character part. They're missing the health part. They're missing the basic fundamentals that it takes to build a life that's worthwhile and,
Yeah.
that withstands the tests.
Yeah, I was watching this thing going back to your man Kobe. I was watching this thing about Kobe. They went and played against the Miami Heat. After the game, the Miami Heat team invited the Lakers to come to this barbecue that they were having on a beach. Big party. Everybody showed up from the Lakers. Then they noticed Kobe wasn't there, and they said, "Where's Kobe?" And the Lakers said, "He's probably at your guys' gym," and he was at the gym, right? Everybody want to be as dope as Cody. Kobe. Everybody want to make those clutch shots. Everybody want to make those moves, but nobody want to sacrifice the time and the energy it takes to be Kobe,
Right.
right? Like while everybody's out there barbecuing, I heard it in so. I got mad respect for Kobe, but what he did to the Jazz makes me not like him as a person. But I got mad respect for his mentality because he was talking about there's so many things you have to sacrifice, right? You have to sacrifice your time. You have to sacrifice hanging out with friends in order to become this great thing that you're aspiring to be like. You have to put in a work.
Right.
Like he's over there. I remember I talked about it on here before. His first shot in a playoff game, he came up short. It was online, but it was short. And he put in the work in the off season to where he would never miss that shot again. He missed that, he's not perfect, but the percentage definitely went up but it's the work he put in the off season when there was no practice, no coaches. He always come in early. I remember there was another Laker that showed up early and wanted to be the first one there, saw Kobe working, and he was like, I'm gonna stay as long as Kobe. And then he got done, and then Kobe stayed a little bit later. And then when they saw each other later, Kobe was just like, I just wanted to make sure you're not gonna outwork me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that's the mentality.
it
It's
is.
like you want to be as great as somebody like that in um your own being, in your own mind. You have to do certain things that not everybody is willing to do.
Right. And so I think like that's exactly the point, and I love that. And but I wanted to bring up another part to this because that like I said, there's two pieces to this, but it's been on my mind heavy lately. And like um I'm starting to realize that like it is like something that like I do want to achieve great things and I do want to do be uh one of the best in my fields and do the things that matter to me and to my legacy and what I'm trying to build. However, I'm starting to realize that like my daily habits are go to the gym, go to work, connect with my friends, connect with my family, be involved in community and help some people out, you know, if they need
Yeah,
help. And it's like that's what I need to do every day. And so it's not like I'm like looking at like, oh, I'm building all these things. Like I
yeah,
need to consistently do those things because those things are small adjustments in my life. If I do those every single day to
yeah,
the best of my ability, then over a 10-year period, it's going to compound into the life I want, you
yeah,
know? So it's not like I needed to achieve everything right now
yeah,
because that was like a good portion of last year with my discipline mindset and the things that I was working on was like that. I was like, I was going to work harder than anybody. I was going to try my best to
yeah,
build as much as I possibly could. I was like in this mindset where I had to be successful. And then I realized that success is in the little things that I do daily.
yeah,
You know, that's actually what matters. And it's like, as long as I can consistently do those little things, it's the law of the universe. It's a universal law that if I do those things daily and I'm moving in the direction of success, then I'm actually successful for the day. You know?
yeah. And that's the part that counts, right? And it's what success is to you, right? Like I get the business part, but if you start losing the connection with your family, connection with friends, or slacking on work, that's the part where it hurts you, you
Right.
know? And if you can still keep those things within line, and there's some times where because you're trying to build so much, I feel like the time with the family is gonna be cut a little bit short. The time with friends is gonna be cut a little short. And it's all right,
Right.
right? Like, I remember in programming at Wasatch Recovery, they taught us this three-piece pie that has to be balanced: work, play, love. Love is connection, work is work, and play, whatever you do for fun, which is like self-care and all that. Sometimes the work needs to take a little bit bigger piece of the pie, as long as you can bring it back within balance, right? There's going to be time to sacrifice certain aspects of the pie, but just knowing that you have to return it back to its equal portions at some point,
Right.
right? If you keep it unbalanced, it's easier to tip you, you
Yeah.
know?
Like just through the seasons of what it is that you're working on in those moments.
Yeah,
That's why last year I did need that in order to get everything established that I'm working on.
yeah,
Now I'm working on embodiment and owning and empowerment. Like I want to own the life that I have instead
yeah,
of always feeling like I need to prove myself or I need to be better for some reason or I need to do more.
yeah,
It's like now I just want to say, you know what? I'm living the life I want to live. Now I
yeah,
want to live it to the best of my ability, you
yeah.
know?
But you do own the life.
Yep.
You do. You're already doing that,
Right.
right? Maybe just saying it out loud so you believe it yourself, but I feel like you own up to everything you do.
Right.
Right? Like when we did this last outreach, watching you in the middle of the circle talk to everybody, it's like, damn, this guy's a boss.
Thank you, brother.
Like you do own outside looking in then. If you don't feel like you own it, I feel like you do.
Yeah.
Like in everything you do, everything I see you do, I feel like you are in control and you are building the life you want, but you also own it.
Right.
Like nobody else is you're not doing it for anybody but Mason,
Right.
right?
Right, and that is true. It's like it's not that I don't feel like that I own it or that I don't embody it. It's just that I feel like I could do better with it because
Oh,
like
okay.
I was doing it for like the wrong reasons. Not the wrong reasons. It was a different season in my life
Yeah.
where it was like I was doing it to prove myself, to prove to myself and to other people
Yeah.
that I could be this guy. Because I went from being a broken,
Yeah.
struggling individual to with nothing to like starting to want to like establish myself and really like be that
Yeah.
guy. And so, like,
Okay, I
it
see
took a
that.
little bit of like, adjustment period, and my nervous system and my heart and my soul needed to kinda, like, catch up to, like, the massive changes that I've been going through,
Yeah.
and, like, so it took a little bit of, like, adjustments to really say, "You know what? Like, I don't need to I don't need to prove myself to anybody
Yeah.
anymore, you know? Like, now I just gotta be okay with, who I am daily,
Yeah.
that daily grind. I wake up and I do my stretches and I do my mindset stuff and I go to work and then I go to the gym, hit the sauna, come home, I interact with my friends and my
Yeah.
family, and that's my day, and, like, at first, like, that seemed like I'm not doing enough, you know, like,
Yeah.
but now it's like that's what I want in my life, and it's like that's what I've been asking for.
Yeah.
Is I've been asking so much for freedom. Like, that was like my main thing that I was like, I just my one true goal is freedom.
Yeah.
And then I got all this freedom and it made me feel like I was just like not producing enough, you know?
Yeah. I get that. But the freedom is nice, huh?
Yeah, it
The
is nice.
Yeah. But I feel like going back to what you said about your first year, I feel like you got all these things rolling in motion, and it's good that you have awareness that you feel like, like you need to adjust the focus on what the reason or the why is, right? But that's the part where I was talking about earlier. This is the detours that make us who we are, right? Those things allowed you to grow and refocus or readjust uh back into where you really want to be. And that's the thing, right? Like the thing about vision or the end game, whatever you want to call it, is a spot. And it's a movable spot. Because on our journey to this spot, we realize, okay, maybe not exactly that spot. Maybe I need to adjust because there's certain things that feel weird that I don't really like. I need to move a little bit to my right or to my left. And this feels better. And then as you go through that, oh, maybe I need to lean a little bit more back to the original plan. But you know, and that's the part that makes us grow and appreciate. Like I feel like that's the part that makes life worth living
I
is
agree.
being able to adjust and still have some freedom. Yeah, because the freedom brings so much peace.
And I think that's important. Both those things is like
Yeah,
that. I think that that adjustment thing is like important along the journey because if not, then you're not really changing. You know,
yeah,
if you're not adjusting, if you're not growing, like as you set these goals and you have these ideas of what it is you want out of life, and if you're not adjusting them, it's because you're not changing enough. You know,
yeah. I
because
was
your mindset changes, your inside changes, and
yeah,
you start realizing like what you wanted in the beginning is not so much what you're looking for.
yeah,
You know,
because you grow as you're going through whatever point in the on the wall that you pick, wherever the vision is, as you go through it, you grow and you change and the person that you change along the way might not might not agree with the spot that you picked,
right?
right? I was watching Blacklist today and Blacklist. Okay, Blacklist is this dude named Raymond Reddington, and he said, "Don't go where the path leads. Instead, go where there is no path and leave a trail." Right? And I thought that was dope because it's not necessarily go blaze your own trail, but to me, he was talking about go somewhere where you haven't been. Right? Even though somebody else laid that trail, that's not your trail, but follow it and leave a trail. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're going to places where you've never been. So there's going to be moments where it feels like I'm not doing enough, but you're doing a lot.
For sure.
You are doing a lot. And it's just all these weird things because this every time I say places we've never been, it always reminds me of Star Trek because how the beginning goes. Anyways, um, I feel like that's the part that gets weird because like we should be doing more. The shame we start bringing in a little bit of we should be doing more of this or more of that. When I feel like that's a lie because you accomplished so much and you're still pushing in the same direction, but also adjusting and having a lot of awareness around where you really want to be rather than just wandering or just floating about.
For sure.
Yeah, which is dope to watch for real. Like
It's dope for me to watch, honestly.
yeah,
It's like I
I
didn't
bet.
it's like weird how it's actually happening, bro. Like the things that like they tell us that would happen if we stuck to the plan and if we
Yeah,
trusted the process or
yeah,
did the work, like all those little sayings and stuff. It's like
yeah,
then I started doing them and then I got real results and it's like
yeah,
they weren't lying.
yeah.
It's real stuff.
We're in I was just telling to somebody. We're in I stopped by in mindfulness and Tina was running it. Tina is the rec therapist at Wasatch Recovery. Shout out to Tina.
Latina.
Tina was doing a check-in and somebody had said 29 and 29 was What are you looking forward to? And then it goes around the room and it gets to me and I go, I picked 29. And she goes, somebody did it already. And I was like, well, I want to say what I'm looking forward to. And this was on Wednesday. Yeah, 2 days ago. And I go, I want to say what I'm looking forward to. And she goes, this sounds like a sales pitch. I go, it is. And I go, I'm looking forward to Sunday. And Tina goes, why? I was like, show up Sunday at alumni. There's 3 people picking up 1 year, 4 people picking up 18 months, and 2 people picking up 2-year chips.
Let's go. Shout out
Right?
to all them too.
Yeah. Shout out
Be
to
over
all those
Sunday.
people, some dope people that been putting in work. But that's the whole thing is like, like there's a bunch of things going on, but I don't know. I got sidetracked when I was thinking about all these people picking up chips
That's
and it
gonna
just,
be lit. Let's talk about that a little bit. That's gonna be crazy.
yeah.
A lot of those people I was in the house with.
Yeah. So Zach, Stephanie Davis, and Drew are picking up 1-year chips. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
Shout out to Rachel, Ty, Eli, and Bracken, Jeremy. 4 people picking up 18 months. Shout out to those 4. Shout out to all of those people for putting in work. Shout out to my good homies Melissa and Amanda picking up 2-year chips. I was working when all of these people came through the program,
Yes, you were.
and it's been so dope to watch their growth and watch them surrender to something greater than them and aspire to be something better than what they started out as. So cool. And these guys, not at first, but at some point had a vision, and they're running a great program that was so good to watch.
Dude, literally every single one of us, but every one of them specifically, like,
Yeah, like some
real
good people.
transformation, bro.
Like you see them now. They're nothing like what they walked in as.
Yeah, and that's
Right?
crazy because like I guess that's all of us, but it really just stands out when you think about them specifically. Like I
Like
think about
each one,
yeah,
right? Eli
Eli grew up.
Eli grows. Eli's the homie. I love
you,
Eli. I
brother.
love
Oh my
Eli.
God.
I love Eli's energy.
That's my big dog.
Bro, that guy had me smiling like ear to ear at Cameron D's wedding, just watching how hype he gets. And this is sober, bro. And it was so fun. I was like, oh, this guy's so fun. Jeremy was my housemate. He's the homie.
He's a real homie, bro. Me and him grew up since little ones together.
Yeah.
Lived 4 houses down from each other.
Yeah, Rachel was supposed to get hers last week, but she was waiting for her homies that she came to the house with.
She told us that tacos the other night.
Yeah.
Stoked.
Yeah, she was texting me, and I was like, ain't you coming up on 18 months? And she was like, yeah, on the 3rd, but I'm going to wait for Jeremy and them, like, the 2-year, the 1-year thing.
Isn't it so weird that time I mean, it doesn't seem like we were just barely at her pool party for the 1 year.
Yeah.
Just flying by, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. Zach getting his 1-year chip in group said, it's crazy how fast it went. And I told him, that's why people that been through programs say enjoy it because it's gonna go fast.
Right. And it's
It does.
And literally the time in treatment literally feels like nothing when you have
right?
It's like it barely happened.
Yeah, look at you. You're coming up with Mason, March. We got the same sobriety date. March 20th. He came into 2024. I came in 2023. He's picking up his 2-year, and life is great, right?
Way great.
And because of us surrendering and trusting the process and going back to vision, putting in all these little things like honesty. I remember when they told me to have accountability. I looked at my therapist. Her name is Ashley. I was like, how am I have accountability? I got all these fraud charges because I thought it meant like, it's like, I can't have accountability. I got fraud charges. And then, but like all these little things like accountability, honesty, go to the gym, wake up. If you pray, like put all these little things into work in order for the big picture to happen, right? Like you break down all these big goals, make it simplify it, and do one thing at a time to achieve it,
Yeah, like I've noticed working at the treatment center I'm at, and people get out of treatment like inpatient, and like they're headstrong, they're ready to go, They get out and they're immediately hit with that like, oh, now what do I do with my time? Like I just sit here, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do.
All
And
that
it's
free
like
time.
all that free time. And so like I try to tell them like just get a routine. Like you don't have to go out and get a high paying job right now, or you don't got to go out and do anything really. Like your job right now is to build a day.
Yeah.
one day,
Like you
and then do
figure
it
out your
the
own
next
day.
day, and the next day,
Yeah.
and the next day, and do the same thing every single day for a little bit, you know?
Yeah. But that's the part a lot of people miss, right? Like they get into like residential. Residential puts together their whole schedule for the day. A lot of people miss that when you do graduate residential, you have to start putting together. If you do end up in PHP, the time is less. So with the free time that you have to, build your own routine in that. And then when you do go to IOP, if you do that, there's a lot more free time. Hopefully, you already have a schedule. Then you just add more to your schedule, and it's all those little things that you put in place for yourself, which ends up creating discipline, and it's the finding of discipline is in the consistency of it, right? And
Very
if you
true.
can stay consistent to your discipline, and it doesn't have to be these great things, like just put into place small stuff like make your bed, clean your room before you leave the house, and then whatever you do when you leave the house, make you breakfast, whatever, build what Mason said, build your day,
Mhm.
but don't make it so hard where it seems overwhelming. Keep it basic at first.
Yeah, it's like it should be basic at first, and that's that those things that are right in front of you that we're talking about.
Yeah,
Like when I was doing psych ed when I was over there at Wasatch,
yeah,
I did a psych ed about it too, and I like had everybody think of what their big vision is, like what their big goal
yeah,
was in life, and so they all would say their things, and then I was like, okay, now scale it back and tell me what you can do in here right now today
to get there.
to get to that point.
Yeah,
What's one thing you can do even if you're in residential treatment
yeah,
center, even if you don't have a job right now, even if you don't have money, like there's so many things that you could do today
yeah,
that would bring you closer to that mission. But you're like, well, I'm not gonna do none of these because I don't have money.
yeah,
And it's like, you don't need the money yet. What
yeah,
you need to do is build some routine, build some structure, build some
yeah,
disciplines. You don't need, like I do this, I do it really bad with clean life. Like I'm like, until once we start getting this money come in, we'll be able to do
yeah,
all these big grand things. But then that's where it came to me that I'm like, I'm avoiding these things that I could do right now,
yeah,
today. Then I'm avoiding them by thinking of, oh, these are my roadblocks of the miles down the road.
yeah, yeah, far down the road. But I feel like all those roadblocks is fear of facing the unknown, because I believe that the reason the fear comes up is because we've never done things like this, right?
So
Like I don't have the money. Oh, justifying shutting it down for right now,
yeah,
but you never shut it down. You like it brought to you a realization that I can do certain things without the money,
right.
and you still do it.
Yeah, there's tons
Like
of
that,
things.
like this last outreach, handed out a whole bunch of sack lunch sandwiches, water, and clothes.
Yeah, and then I'm realizing that like the that's the effort that it takes to get to the money,
Yeah,
to in order to get the money coming in for clean life, it's going to take me doing those things,
yeah,
showing up every time, being involved in the communities,
yeah,
helping out where I can, because that's going to prove that what we're doing is real
yeah,
and it's not about a money thing.
yeah,
And that's like it actually builds character and builds strength and builds our community
yeah.
and gives people like real camaraderie.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe it definitely builds a lot of character because you're doing it without the money,
Right.
right? Like with or without the money, we're still gonna run it. Like the
Mhm.
money will help provide a lot more things for us to help people. But right now, even without the money, you're still moving it.
Yeah, it's like that scripture, whatever says, like be a good steward of what you have now.
Yeah,
Like God will place in front of you things, but it's like if you got to be good at what you got in front of you,
yeah,
regardless if it's a lot or a little.
yeah. And that's the crazy thing is in my addiction, I was good at that. And I feel like that's one of the things I brought over into my recovery is not sitting around and with pouting about what I don't have, but making anything possible with what I do have. And wherever I land, that's my best shot. And I'm cool with it because I know if I had more things in order for me to grow stronger, I would. But that's the best I had, and I made the best I had with what I got to work with.
Right.
And that's a part, like, you're doing it with
Strength.
Clean Life,
Yeah.
right? Like, where'd you get all the clothes that we handed out?
There's tons of donations.
Yeah, and when, like, somebody opened up some clothes, Mason was donating, what is it, True Religion pants? I was like, "Bro, if this was size 42, I'd be taking these." Like, it wasn't just like some bu
Mm.
like junk. It was like some good clothes.
There's some nice stuff in there for
Yeah,
sure. And
and
that's some shout out to all the people that donated for
yeah,
real.
for
Like you
sure.
guys are what keep it going, and like that's the community aspect it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
So
it's dope, but it's all in making like even though you don't have anything everything that you need to reach your vision, find out what you do have and make it. Push towards it.
right,
Like start working on the things that you can right now and applying yourself to getting the other things that you need down the line. But that doesn't mean there's no way to start.
right,
People wait for the perfect condition to start, not realizing that starting is the perfect condition.
right.
Yeah.
And it's like a backwards way of thinking to think that you're gonna get the rewards before you do the work.
Yeah.
It
That's
just
not how it
doesn't
works.
work that way. And
Yeah.
then and it's not ever easy. Like that's the thing is like it's not ever like I'm learning this too is that like it's almost like each level there's gonna be a new layer of like fight you got to go through. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's never gonna get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm smooth sailing now.
No.
You know, it just is like now I have a different level of stresses and things that I'm working through and learning about and growing through. And I'm grateful for it now because like you said in the beginning, is like I need those things to expand my strength and to give
Yeah.
me my soul to really integrate into who I'm trying to be. And and it definitely gets pressure. You know, it's a different type of pressure, but it's pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like you go to the gym, right? It's like putting on 45 pound plate on each side, benching that for your rest of your life, expecting you to grow stronger.
Right.
Yeah, you get fit,
Yeah.
but the only way for you to get stronger is to add another 45 pound plate on each side, which brings more stress, which brings more effort, right?
Makes your whole body sore like mine is today.
Yeah. But that's usually how it is. Apply that to the things that you're working on with clean life or anything else that you're trying to grow from within inside, right? It brings a lot of pain in different areas, right? Here or here, like a lot of stress, a lot of heartache, but it helps grow you stronger,
Right.
right?
And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm grateful for that mindset now
Yeah.
because like now when I do go through hard things where it is a tough couple of days, like it's been a little bit the last few weeks, it's like I truly know without a doubt that I'm going through these hard things because I'm growing, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not it's because I know that I've been putting in extra work and I know that it's like I said just a second ago jokingly, it's like my entire body is sore right now because shameless plug with the Temple app launched. So
Shout
so
out to Temple.
shout out to Temple and, yeah, the app launch was this week, but, so I've been doing the new workouts and, like, going hard, you know what I mean? And so now I'm back to, like, sore, but
Yeah.
I realized that, like, every day that I wake up and I'm, like, feeling that pressure, like, man, I have a full schedule today. A lot like, today was a crazy day. You're like, if I told you guys my schedule, you'd be like, "What are you doing?" You know?
Yeah.
But it's like but but that pressure, I'm like, I see it as, like, this is my opportunity to grow. This is my opportunity to become, like, the person that handles those situations, like, fluently. And, uh, and I'm grateful that I have that mindset and to know that it's not trying to break. Because I used to think, like, life was against me. I used to think like life was trying to break me down and like things were coming at me just to throw me off and things like that. And now I
Yeah.
know that it's coming at me because God knows I'm capable of growing into the person I want to be.
Yeah. And that mentality of God of feeling like life is trying to break you down is actually God trying to stretch you and make you stronger.
Right.
He's just giving you a bunch of tests in order to grow in different aspects of your life. And it's cool that you have that understanding that that's where the growth happens. You know, never had that before, right?
Yeah. No,
That those are all things that used to be like stuff that you dodge or try to numb out or never even want to deal with. But I feel like that says a lot about you, Mason. You know, it says a lot about who your character is. And all this stuff that Mason says is not just fluff or stuff to get likes or follows. Is like I know Mason personally, and if you need an example, follow this guy. Like he came through a year after me, and I'm about to tear up because I love this dude so much. He's definitely somebody that I aspire to be like. He's somebody that I look up to in a lot of different aspects of his life. If you want to learn what discipline is like, listen to this guy talk for real. Like he has his own. It's crazy because if in a day you could do 10 things, Mason does 12 and he makes it through. Like what he was talking about his schedule, like such a dope person. Like what we're talking about, vision, and it's all the Mason still does all the little things in his life to get to the big vision. But the dope part about it, what we're talking about before, is that when detours do happen, All the little work, all the stuff that the little work that he applied in the beginning made it to where he doesn't fall apart when the detours happen, right? He's capable, he's a lot stronger, and there is a lot more stresses that do pop up, but he's unbreakable right now,
Appreciate it a
right?
lot, brother.
Right? Like, there's a quote that says something like, "We don't crumble under pressure, we thrive in it. Pressure makes diamonds, and Mason is becoming unbreakable, but it's because he thrives in pressure." Right? I love you,
Love
brother.
you, brother, with all my
Yeah,
heart. That means the world to me, and it's like a mutual
yeah,
feeling. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It truly is. It's like the fact that we get to. It's a synergy
yeah,
because
yeah.
without this, it wouldn't be nearly
Yeah,
anything
I
that I.
love I love sitting over here and chopping it up with you, bro. Every time I leave here, I just feel lit,
Me
different
too.
kind of lit.
I've been missing it, almost like I miss the gym. You know,
Yeah,
like when I don't go to the gym a few days, I start feeling like a weird emotionally,
yeah,
mentally. But it was kind of like that with the podcast because we took our little Christmas break,
yeah,
and then now it's like we needed it.
yeah. I was nervous driving over here, but
I was nervous too.
yeah, yeah.
Back to
Hey,
day one.
yeah. There's like, no matter what your dream is, your vision is, if you're not scared of your if you're not scared of your dreams, you're not dreaming big enough, right? So dream big, but don't forget to do the little things that make the big thing solid. Make it to where when you do attain the vision, right, it stays solid because you're playing for the long game instead of just what you call that, quick instant gratification, right?
Yeah, it's so true, and I think that with that being said, it's like, the long game is one of the biggest, blessings that we've been given as people in recovery, you know, because like, when you're deep in addiction, there's not a long game thought process,
Yeah,
you know, everything is daily and, like, if I survive it or if I stay free or if there's not really like a 10-year plan when you're struggling on heroin, you know? And so the fact that we do have that ability to think in 5 years ahead of plan or even to say like, you know what, I'm gonna have discipline for this entire year
yeah,
so that I can have a better life in the future. It's like that's a win in itself because
yeah,
it's like that's something that I've never had the luxury of before because I was so used to just not even thinking past this moment, let
yeah,
alone 5 months even down the road. It's
yeah.
like so now that I can make a plan that's like, you know what, I'm gonna put in the work today because I know in 2 years, life is gonna be different, you know?
Yeah,
And that's a
that's
different
so
type of
dope.
win.
That's so dope, right? But I believe that too. I never even had a thought for tomorrow in my addiction, but now there's plans for definitely down the road and around the corner and then to the bend, whatever. Like there's this is for the long game. I'm in it for the long run, and and we're gonna get it. Like life is gonna be good. For me, it's like this year. I feel like it's good year, and it started off dope.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a
like
good play.
a lot of things to achieve this year. Definitely still a lot of internal work. Um, but nothing too crazy. Just need to strengthen up some weaknesses and become unbreakable too.
You are unbreakable, man.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
And, the thing about, like, that too is, like we just talked about, I don't think that it's something that ever stops feeling like there's, like, some work to be done, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm grateful for that too because, I mean, I thrive on that type of mentality, though, like, that's where I wanna be, is in that mentality of, like, what can I work on today? You know, what can I
yeah,
change in myself to be better today? And then what I've also noticed is like over time, as I'm doing I focus my energy here, and then these areas, almost like the pie you were talking about, like,
yeah,
oh, these areas over here start to kind of like level out, and then I'm like, oh, I got to get back to this, and then I
yeah,
get here, and then these ones kind of start leveling back out, and so it's just that weird balance in life, period. Because like where we talking about vision and we're talking about doing the daily habits right in front of you, the small things to get you there. But then in reality, the thing that I'm learning in myself right now is I can be okay just me, you know? Like I don't have to perform for anything. Like
yeah,
I'm accepted by my people, myself and my family and friends, whether I perform or not. They love
yeah.
me regardless. So it's like that's I don't need to do all these things for any type of like love. And that's something that I think that was a hard shift for me because like I didn't realize that's what I was doing for so long in my life is like feeling like I needed to prove to people, you know,
Yeah.
and be somebody that gives in order to get love back.
All outside validation.
Yeah, and I
Right.
didn't realize that was even a part of my journey until I started realizing how almost like fanatical I was about getting somewhere that wasn't. here. You know,
Yeah,
like I was trying to get somewhere else, but
yeah,
it was here the whole time, and I was so like stressed about it, and realized that it was because I was trying to,
prove.
yeah, buy love practically through
Yeah,
being the best I could be.
but it's dope because right now it feels like, I don't know, for me, I am enough, right?
You are enough.
Yeah, and I feel like all this stuff that you're talking about, trying to get approval from other people, validation from other people, but the sense is that you're figuring out that you are enough.
Right.
You're right here is exactly where you need to be. The dope part for me about the whole thing that you just said is that you don't need to do all these things, right? Now we're in a space where we're going after the wants in life, right? The building in life, right? Like in your first year of recovery from 2024, it was the realigning the mindset, realigning the values, building yourself back up. Okay, that was cool. That was needed. Now you just do those things because you want to. Now all the necessities that you did are taken care of. Now we're taking care of wants, right?
Right. And
Like building businesses, temple, other things, going to work, but still paying attention to the basic things that got you here. Sharice just did. Shout out to Sharice.
shout out Sharice.
Sharice, on her notable quotable today, said, "Don't forget why you started." Right,
Yeah. What's that?
and for me, that meant like not just
Huge.
keep going back on reflecting on why, but going back to remembering to do all the little things. Like if you get stuck in a spot and feeling like you need to be somewhere else in life, don't forget why you started. Don't forget why you're even in a spot that makes you feel like you need to be in another spot, right?
Right.
Like don't forget why you are even here and stop and have some gratitude. Tina told me and told the group in class, if you don't have gratitude for certain things, you lose it, right?
Right.
Now pay attention to all the things that you don't want to lose and be grateful for those things,
That's so
right?
awesome too.
Like
It's
if
huge.
you don't have gratitude for this podcast, you lose it.
Right.
Are you going to be grateful for this podcast? Of course you are, right? If you don't have gratitude for the gym, you lose that. Well, then be grateful for the gym. And then all of a sudden you start realizing, man, maybe I should be a lot more grateful for all these little things I have in my life, which helps you pay attention to all these little things that we're talking about in the beginning in order to achieve the big vision.
Right,
I don't know, something
and
like
it's
that.
like, then that's 1000% true, and I think that and then trusting that by doing those little things that it will amount to the life that you're trying to live,
Yeah,
and it does, and so I think you're right too. Like that first year was all about that, the mindset or
yeah.
the growth inside
Rebuilding you.
my, yeah, rebuilding myself, and then last year was about the discipline to like
Yeah,
really locking in, and then like you said, like this year, it feels like those things are more a part of who I
yeah.
am more than something I'm trying to make happen. You
Yeah.
know.
It's like reflex now, right? Like when negative self-talk comes up, it's killed because you put in the work to where like the doctor hit you on your knee, you kick, right? All that work you put in made it to where those things are reflex that you put in the work for. Now it's after the wants.
Right, and that's so huge
Yeah.
because it is, and it makes you live from a different space when you're in a that mindset.
Yeah.
Like I think about it, like my goal for financially this year is to have like a certain amount of money put away for like a security
Yeah.
fund, and then certain amount of money I can put into like investing into myself, and so and it's a pretty big number, but like I think about the life that like the way that I would move had I if I have 10 grand in the bank account, like my bills paid, everything paid, and I have 10 grand just
Yeah.
chilling. Like I think that will give me a whole different type of like, do I
Yeah.
want to do this today? Nah, I ain't feeling that today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Or instead of like, I need money, I'm going to make
Yeah.
this happen, And so like kind of makes you work from a different
Yeah. Headspace,
vision,
right? Yeah.
Like you have a different mentality about it when you step into the game if you have a different type of pieces to play with.
Yeah. But without those pieces, it doesn't stop the movement.
No, it's like that's why the grind is important,
Yeah.
and it's like almost like whiplash and like
Yeah.
like bipolar in these conversations because
Yeah.
there's balance to everything.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about the while you're talking, it's just like the vision, right? The vision of the life you want to live and chasing after that. Um I forgot where I heard it, but it went something along with what you're talking about. You're you pick a vision, you start working towards that, not realizing that the work and the path that you chose to get there is actually the life you really want to live.
Right. And then you don't you're not aware of it because
Yeah.
you're thinking like, "Oh, I need to get"
Yeah.
that's exactly it, bro.
Yeah. So
That's
you
it.
stop.
Say that again.
Um,
That's exactly it
the
where I'm
vision
at.
that you're chasing after, the path that you chose to get there is actually the life that you really want to live,
Yeah.
right? Like the life, all these things that you're building, this is the life that you really want for yourself.
Right.
Like when you hit those things, cool, you hit them.
Yeah.
You know what you're gonna do? Build something else.
Yeah,
I'm
guaranteed.
serious.
I know I will for sure.
Yeah, but this is the life that I don't know,
This is
outside.
it.
Yeah, this is it. This is you building something. This is you making everything that you want, right?
Right.
Right? Like it's like, I'm gonna buy that house. Okay. Now you start saving up money. You buy that house. Cool, you bought a house, but you're forgetting about stopping and smelling the roses. All the work, all the sweat that you put into getting the money to put the down payment and then keeping the house. And while you're working towards paying off the house, you add in a hot tub, you rearrange the lawn, you added some rocks in the back with some fire pit.
Make a badass podcast studio.
Yeah. But when you pay off the house, you forget about all these little things that made it a home.
Right, and if you stressed about buying the house the entire time,
Yeah, you
then you
miss out
missed
on all these
everything.
little things, which goes back to the beginning of what we're talking about. And like, enjoy all the little things while they last because they won't be forever.
Yeah.
It goes a lot quicker than what you think.
Right, and it is important to just be grateful for the path and the journey that
Yeah.
you're on because
Yeah.
it is a beautiful thing regardless of where you're at in the process of it.
Yeah. It
Eventually
definitely is hard to have gratitude when things get rough, but it's a good practice to have. Gratitude is like one of my greatest weapons. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, and you're
Yeah.
good at
I
that too.
love gratitude.
I'm super grateful to, we have the opportunity to do
Yeah.
this on a
Yeah.
regular basis, and I'm
Same.
grateful that we have such a great support system and the people that care about us and follow us and really are in this with us. Um, the next couple of weeks is gonna be lit. Like
Yeah.
I got some fire guests coming on and I'm super excited for them. So
Yeah.
be watching out for that. Me and Daniel are gonna get back on our regular schedule.
Yeah. We just took a little break.
No break, had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Had a few deaths and a few things pop off where I was just like swirled for a second.
Yeah.
We're back at it though.
Yeah.
New year,
Yeah. New Year.
and we're gonna make this happen.
Happy
So
New Year to everybody out there. Like, subscribe, and share, and make things happen. Right? This is the beginning. Make things happen. Pick whatever you want. Like what Mason was talking about. Dream big and do the next thing to make it happen.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, because the future isn't built by just big ideas alone, it's built by people who take the small picture seriously.
Hmm.
Pay attention to what keeps showing up in your life. Handle what's right in front of you. Be faithful with the small things because that's usually where alignment actually starts. Um, so as always, like thanks for tuning in to Clean Life Cast. If you guys would just like and subscribe, share with your friends. Give us feedback or write comments, whatever you guys want. You know what I mean? Like this is a community through
Yeah.
and through. We want it to be community involvement, community connection, and any type of ideas, insights. If you want to get on the cast, then hit us up. We want it all to be together because healing isn't just personal; it's a movement.
It's definitely a movement. And I love you guys.
Love y'all.
That's good.
See you next time.